Hello, I'm Dr. Priscilla. I'm also a native English speaker and I live in the U.S. Now, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you 3 amazing tips to help you with your English fluency. Please be sure to watch this video until the end. Do not pause the video. Do not stop the video. You can do that the second time that you decide to watch the video. So here are the 3 tips. Tip number 1, slow down. Oftentimes, non-native English speakers believe that they are well on their way to fluency if they're speaking fast. This could not be further from the truth. If you are speaking fast and you're not pronouncing your words correctly, no one understands exactly what you're saying. You're wasting your time by speeding up your speaking. The reason you want to slow down is to be able to pronounce the words in a very good way. So again, this is a common problem for non-native English speakers trying to speak too quickly. And I know that it can be tempting to try and get your words out quickly, but while this might feel like the good thing to do, it is not. Rushing your words out of your mouth can lead to confusion and miscommunication. Rather, instead of speaking quickly, slow down and keep what you want to say simple. I promise you, the English-speaking person will appreciate and value what it is that you wish to convey. All right? So, if your communication is clear, you will reach your aim, you will be understood, and the conversation will be engaging, informative, enlightening, and honestly, you will feel good about what it is that you have to say. With that said, this takes us to tip number 2. If you notice anything about human behavior, it is the way that we perform. If you look at the animal kingdom, you will notice that even in the light of fear, the lion appears to be confident. They may see someone with a gun, although they may not necessarily know what the gun is. But I believe most animals recognize that the human usually has an advantage. And that advantage comes from appearing to be confident. And this is what I want to encourage you to do. Become confident. If you are doing a presentation, you will need to study and prepare for the presentation. Do not go out and try to wing it, especially if you are a non-native English speaker. You want to practice using the words that you are going to use and say during your presentation. You want to look around to see and acknowledge that people are paying attention to what you are saying, and you're going to look confident. Make eye contact if necessary. Not so much to stare at someone for such a very long time, but to acknowledge that they are in the room, you value them, and hopefully they will value you. So don't feel embarrassed that you have something to say. Don't act as if you are uncertain, especially if you have prepared and practiced what it is that you are going to say. So by acting as if you're confident, you create or strengthen neutral networks in your brain. So next time you speak, I want you to remember, the more confident you appear, the easier your message is going to be received. So act confident, and over time, while acting confident, you will actually indeed become confident. And tip number 3, this to me is a great one for you to practice, and that is to use emphasis. When you say the same sentence or a similar sentence, you want to say it with different emphasis. You want to put the stress on certain words that you are using in your presentation, in your daily conversation. For example, Every day that you walk into your office or you meet an acquaintance, you typically will say, "Hello, how are you?" Change it up a little bit and say things like, "Hey, how's it going? What's up with you today?" Just change the way that you are presenting yourself, and this will gain you miles of acceptance and approval, and the native English speaker or the English speaker will more than likely engage in conversation with you much more readily than if you're always starting with the same introduction or the same comments when you meet them. "Hey, how are you? I'm fine." Switch it up. Use emphasis. Put emphasis on what it is that you want them to respond to. When you're adding emphasis, try to ask the individual a question. Try to ask the person that you're speaking with something. People love to talk about themselves. If you know that they have kids, ask about their kids. How are the kids? If you know that they have a spouse, you can ask about the spouse. If they've done something for you, put emphasis on how much you appreciate what it is that they did. Change your tone, and you will learn how to change your tone by watching and modeling the behavior of other people. So what are the 3 tips that I gave today? Slow down. Do not rush through a conversation, because when you typically do that as a non-native English speaker, you're not pronouncing your words correctly. Act confident. And once you start acting with confidence, the confidence will come. And finally, number 3, use emphasis when you are speaking. When you emphasize something, it changes the tone, it changes the mood, it brings more energy into the room. Now, these are just 3 tips. I'd like for you to post in the comments below which one of these tips are you going to implement today. If you are already using these tips, tell me how you are benefiting from those tips. I love interacting with you all. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Dr. Priscilla, a native English speaker, and I'd love for you to become a member of our tribe by subscribing to this YouTube channel. Bye for now.